Here at Ground Control with Boris again. Now we're going to work some variations to when the cross collar starts getting defended by our opponent. So we're going to start in full guard. We went over the cross collar in an earlier video where we use our grip on the same side, our reverse crunch, and now I'm also going to open up to create separation. My hand on the opposite side is going to enter like a handshake. So finger entry, locking out my elbow, trying to get as deep as I can around the collar, and now I do a diagonal reverse crunch on the other side to create my angle in order to finish. Now, what happens a lot of times is once we establish this first grip and we get nice and deep, a lot of times people are kind of onto it, they sort of know what's up. One of the things that will happen is if I can't create the angle to get my over grip onto the other side, then sometimes it gets difficult to put in. I end up on his chin or his jaw. So we're going to go over another variation where I enter from the same side. Now, instead of coming over top, I'm going to go underneath. So as I come under, I'm going to go with a finger entry grip towards the other side. I'm going to establish a very similar grip to what I have on my primary side. So we're coming underneath with my hand, establishing my grip. It won't be quite as deep. And now we're going to use our elbows, pulling our elbows down towards our hips. Again, we're not coming out with our forearms away, trying to jam our forearms into his throat. We're going to pull nice and tight and finally roll our wrists in order to achieve the submission. Another thing that will happen is that with hand fighting from here, a lot of times people can start hand fighting, they start attacking here, and this gets difficult. So I'm going to transition from this spot into something else. So my hand on the same side that I'm trying to get the choke, my free hand, I like to get a pistol grip onto the arm on that same side. Now, the first thing I try to do is I try to punch this wrist over towards my biceps or towards my shoulder to come across my center line. My foot on that same side goes towards the hip. And now the opposite side, I start going in a reverse crunch motion or pendulum upward, rotate exterior with my hip so my hamstring's making contact, and then I pendulum laterally to create my angle. Finally, from here, my leg swings over top. I get that good bite in my hamstring, and now we can attack the arm bar. If arm bars aren't your thing, it's interchangeable with other techniques. We can also punch through, start looking towards triangles, or punch down towards the side and angle off into an omoplata. Arm bars are more my thing from this position. I have more success with that than the other two. But if that's not really your thing, you could use the other two techniques. They kind of intertwine together. And we'll see that later on in videos, how much they actually intertwine. Finally, the last one, when we get our choke set in and our opponent starts really pulling down on us. Now, rather than trying to mess around with our arms, maybe he's tight, I can't get underneath, and I'm just not having any success attacking the arm on that same side. I'm going to use my legs. So my guard opens, and I'm going to look to lace my feet underneath my partner's ankles. So they're going to come up as I drop. Now I have my feet flexed. I'm going to extend out. As I extend, I'm going to pull the grip so it comes across my center line. And now I should have an attack right to the traditional cross collar with our over grip. One of our members, Victor, is extremely good with this. He catches a lot of people. He calls it opening the chicken. So he gets his legs across towards the other side, and he ends up finishing from this quite a bit. So one more time with that, as we come across, we establish our grip. The guy's fighting, and I just can't get space to do either of the other transitions. I'm going to release my guard, lace underneath, and now as I extend away, I don't just extend straight, because right now I'm still on the other side. I want to make sure that I pull him across my center line with my extension as I establish my over grip, and then I finish the same way as before. So there's a couple options for you guys there when the first attempt at the cross collar fails, a couple of other things that we can transition off to.